Hey y'all, happy Sunday. I hope that you guys can hear me okay. I really don't want to have to hold this mic up to my mouth this whole time, but I'm gonna set it down. Maybe I can prop it up or something. Let's see. I can use this to prop it up a little bit. Let's see if that'll be better. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better from propping it up a little bit more. I wish it was something else I could put it on. I guess one of these days I'm gonna have to get something that's gonna hold it for me. Hold it close to my mouth. But happy Sunday. I know you guys missed me the last 2 weeks. Um, I forgot why I didn't go live. Oh, the 1 week I was sick as a dog. The second week was Mother's Day. So that's why. So I'm here today. And I am looking forward to talking about our topic for today. You want to say hi? Say hello. Say hi, people. Hello. These cats. I need to lock them out of my office is what I need to do. So I'm going to give it some time and see if I get some people to join. I'm really hoping so because I'm talking about a topic today that a lot of people are struggling with, and that is feeling unmotivated in their businesses. And so I want to try to shed a little light on that and help you get out of that funk. If you are here and watching me, please let me know who you are and where you're watching from. I'm going to go ahead and get started by introducing myself to those of you who have not been a part of the video in the past. My name is Bergeau, also known as Bialise, and I am the owner of Bialise Notary Services, as well as the founder and president of the Notary Education Group, which is now a nonprofit organization. Every Sunday, I try to every Sunday, I come live on YouTube to share with you guys business related topics, notary related topics, share some tips, and answer your questions in real time. Okay. If you find today's video or any of my videos to be helpful to other notaries, please do like and share them with other notaries. All right. Because we want to bring together more notaries into our community to help them because that's what we're here to do. All right. So today we're going to be talking about notaries feeling unmotivated. All right. We're going to do some real talk and we're going to do a reset. We're going to try to get y'all together. Before I jump into that, though, I wanted to remind everyone that the last time we spoke, everyone was supposed to do some homework. And that homework was for you to research any of the services that I share with you that you do not already offer. And I wanted you to share it tonight. So if you can please share the research of the service that you chose in the comments below so that we can talk about it. Okay. Oh man, I got water and forgot to bring it in here. Okay. I'll be right back. I need to go get my water because I'm not gonna be able to do this live without my water. So I'll be back, guys. All right, I got cats in here with me. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining. Hey, happy Sunday. I was not going to be able to do tonight's live without this water, y'all. The cold that I had, it did a number on my throat. And I feel like my throat is not back to normal. It's not. I feel like my voice sounds different still. And sometimes when I'm talking, I get choked up easily. And I have no idea why. So couldn't do tonight without this water. Okay. So for those of you who didn't hear me before, I was asking everyone to share the service that they did research that they're not already offering so that we can learn a little bit more about it. I did share the services before, and I wanted you guys to do your own research on any of the ones that may interest you. You don't have to offer them, but at least if it was interesting to you, I want you to do some research on it and share it with us today. So hopefully I'll get some people to drop that in the comments, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on today's topic. So in my support group, all right, there was an individual who said that they were just not feeling motivated at all, and I hate to hear that, but it happens to all of us. Okay, we all kind of fall into that funk where we kind of get unmotivated. Um, Things aren't happening. I have days where absolutely nothing happens, and then I have days where I'm absolutely swamped. Okay, so it's not just you. All right, I am one of those people who have been in business for some time, and I still sometimes get unmotivated. So when you feel unmotivated, all right, you want to give yourself permission to pause. All right, because sometimes that's what we have to do. Sometimes you're trying to do too much. All right, so pause. Don't quit. Just pause. Reflect. You know, get a journal. Remember in my earlier years, I was telling you guys, and I still do this from time to time. I just don't carry the notebook around with me. But I have a notebook here that I jot things down that I want to do. And as you can see, I've used quite a bit of the pages because this is all I got left. And even this page is done. Journal. Okay, jot down some things that you do want to do. I feel like when you are able to see things, it makes it way easier. So write it down. Okay. This way you won't forget it. And this way you can set a goal. Okay. So my question to you, to anybody else who may feel unmotivated at times, what helped you get back on track? I like to know. Or are you one of the ones who are still figuring it out? All right. What helps me get back on track is making sure that I am doing something productive. Okay. I know that you guys have heard sometimes where just doing something that's not enough. You have to do something that has purpose. Okay. Because otherwise, if you're just trying to just fill up your time with just doing busy stuff, you're going to be unmotivated, point blank, because you're not doing anything with purpose. All right. So when I feel unmotivated or, when I just start to worry a little bit about my business, what I do is I go back through things. I go back through my website and hi, Michael, good evening. I go back through my website, and a lot of times when I go on my website, I find stuff that's not working or I find something that I want to change. Excuse me. Just this week alone, I did like a revamp of my website. And I realized that there was a lot of information on there that could be condensed. All right. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were kind of dead days for me. I did general notary work on those 3 days. I don't remember doing a closing. Well, I may have had one. I think I may have had one Monday, one on Tuesday, or two. But I didn't have a lot of closings. I'm used to having 6 to 9 in a day. And I didn't get that on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So that gave me some free time to go through things. Now, what could I have done different? When I think about it, because I do that a lot. Now that I am a full-time notary, I get the opportunity to do some thinking. So what I was thinking is, because I've did it before, why didn't I email my direct clients to let them know that I had openings? Because that's happened before where I didn't have any appointments on a day. And I reached out to my direct clients to let them know, hey, I got some openings today. If you guys have any notary work that comes up, send it my way. And they actually did that. Like, oh, okay, good to know. And sent me work. And I didn't do that this week, and it just didn't dawn on me to do it. But it probably was because I took a different approach. My purpose was, let me go back over my website. Let me check my pages, like my Google business and Yelp and stuff like that. And what I ended up finding was I did need to make some edits, some updates, delete some things, add some things. So it worked out. So when you're not feeling motivated, start thinking about what could you be doing. You're not getting any calls, you don't have any appointments. Is there something else you could be doing? Could you be maybe creating a promotion to bring in some clients? Could you maybe um, create some type of special event, or maybe you can look up some events that's going on in your area and go do some networking. There's different things that you can do that's productive, that you could do with purpose. So to keep you from just being busy just because you feel like you have time, we don't want to just be doing things. If you are feeling unmotivated, the goal is to do something with purpose that will benefit the business. So even if you are not feeling motivated, you can do something that can trigger some motivation or some inspiration. Does that make sense, guys? So my next point is you can reconnect with your why. All right. Why did you want to become a notary? Okay. Was it time freedom, flexibility, service? You wanted to make a difference in people's lives. And for some people, that's like, I want to make money, duh. Okay, but at the same time, okay, yeah, you want to make money, but there's got to be something else, you know. And even if it is just that you want to make money, you still have to be strategic about it. You just signing up to become a notary is not going to make you money. There is no notification or public broadcast that lets everybody know that you're a notary as soon as you get commission. All right. It is up to you to let everybody know that you're a notary and for you to prepare yourself for when they contact you for a notary. Hi, Carrie. Stephanie said when she first started, she needed supplemental income back in 2018. So, yeah, because you wanted to make some money, right? But we end up finding out that just becoming a notary is not how we're going to get the money. Not at all. We have to be strategic. We have to create goals. I have so many people who do not set goals for themselves for the week. Is crazy. And so, yeah, it's very easy to be unmotivated when you're not even working towards anything. You cannot just be working towards making money. You can't. Because once you get the money, then what you going to do with it? So this is what we mean by having a goal, doing things with purpose. What is the purpose of you making more money? Just so you can have it? That's not how that works. Because money does other things. You can't just sit and look at it. You're not going to be able to do that at all. Okay? Something's going to happen. You're going to have to spend the money. So what are you working towards? Okay? You got to reconnect with your why, your purpose. Okay? Because we're all trying to have more money for something. I'm trying to have more money so that I can do this, I can do that. That's the purpose. The goal is not just to make the money. Okay? Everybody understand that. Next point. Identify what's really blocking you. Okay? Sometimes we're unmotivated because we're just not doing nothing. If you're not just doing anything, then yeah, you're probably going to become unmotivated. Okay? Because being in business, okay, requires you to take action. Okay. And we have too many people who are just in business and they're not taking any action. And a lot of it comes from fear. It's not so much as you're being lazy, it's the fear of failing. All right. Then you have the imposter syndrome. Okay. Or you could just be confused about the next step. I don't even know what I need to do now. I got my notary, I became commissioned. Now, what do I do? Okay. And the hardest thing, Stephanie says, sometimes you are unmotivated because you are trying to do so much with no direction. Exactly. Bingo. That's exactly what it is. You guys are a part of so many different notary groups, and you're trying to do some of everything that you see people saying. The worst thing that I see notaries do in these support groups is that you ask the question of, now what do I do? And you have too many people telling you what to do. And that in itself can become overwhelming. Okay. And that will leave you unmotivated very quickly. And this is why we say that people should have a mentor. You should have a mentor, okay? Because you don't need to know what everybody thinks. You're trying to figure out what to do and how to create your path. And creating the path is not going to come from everywhere. Very early on, when I created my notary group, I had suggested that everybody get a notary buddy. And we did. A lot of people ended up connecting with people in their immediate areas. Okay. And the goal was for us to be able to piggyback off of each other, bounce information and ideas off each other, work with each other. Sometimes I get called to do a notary that I can't do. I know somebody else who can. And this is why, and so many people slammed me for this, but we are not each other's competition. We all need to work together, because when I tell you, if I have 3 customers who all are available at 3 o'clock, am I going to be able to help all of them? No. I'm going to have to find another notary that can help them. And that is the best resource for a person who needs a notary if they can't work with you. And it doesn't mean that you're giving your business away. It does not mean that. It means that now you have become a reliable resource for this person. And if the notary that you referred them to does a good job, now the customer has 2 reliable notaries they can rely on. Better example, I'm going to be on vacation all next week. So what am I going to do when what is my customers going to do when they can't get a hold of me? What if they can't wait for my return? I need to be able to send them to someone else, because they don't want to have to go to Google and find a notary who don't know what they're doing. They would rather me, their trusted notary, refer them to another trusted notary who I know knows what they're doing, is going to take care of my customer. So I encourage you guys, okay, get a buddy or get a mentor. You need to be working with one person that's going to help you kickstart in on this journey as a notary. And another thing is, you got to stop reaching out to all these people for help and not doing what they're telling you to do. Okay? These people who you are trying to work with, they're successful in their business because they did what they're telling you to do. So if you're reaching out to people and you're not even going to listen and follow what they're saying, then you are wasting their time and you are creating a bigger barrier for yourself. Because what's going to happen is, the notaries who are doing well that you're reaching out to, they're going to tell each other, we got this one notary who keep going and bouncing around to everybody saying that they need help with their business and they're not doing what we're telling them to do. because they're waiting for somebody to tell them a quick fix. And being a notary business owner is not quick money. It's not going to be a quick fix. Excuse me. None of the mentors are going to be able to tell you that you're going to be able to make $5,000 in a week. Okay, that's not going to happen. Can you make $5,000 in a month? Absolutely, you can, but you have to work for it. You have to work for it. You have to follow the strategies that they're sharing with you to create the money goal that you desire. Okay, let me stop. Stephanie said, looking at it as you are helping the customer get things done. Exactly. That's why you have to partner up with people. Okay. Every good person should have another good person that can help their customers. Okay. I have, matter of fact, let me show you. These cards are the resources that I am able to help my customers with when they call me. Okay. This is something that everybody should have. Okay. And it's two piles because I'm working on a spreadsheet now so that when people call me, I can kind of filter through what they're looking for and find a person as opposed to going through all these cards because it's a lot. Okay. This is how far I've gotten on my spreadsheet. And this is how many more I have to add to the spreadsheet. Okay. And guess what? I have some notaries in this pile. Yes, I do. Okay. So let's put that back. All right. Let's see. Carrie says, right, we are not in competition with each other. No, we are not, because there's enough work out there for everybody. And the best thing you can do is be able to help your customer work with another good notary. Okay. Because good notaries are hard to find because they don't want to know their statute. They don't want to know the laws. They just want to make the money. And I don't work with notaries who are just in it to make the money. I want to work with notaries who want to build relationships, who are concerned with mastering their craft. Stop it, cat. Stop it. No. Sorry. All right. Stephanie says that is the main reason why I'm not a mentor. I get so tired of people asking for help and not following up. It is so draining. And yes, it is. And it's sad when you have, oh my goodness, stop, cat. It is sad when you have people who are just bouncing around trying to find somebody who's going to lie to them and tell them you can make all this money in one day, in 1 week. And that's not the case. Carrie says you can't get past work without work. Exactly. Oh my goodness, this cat. Stop it. My cat keeps pulling my shirt. My goodness. Exactly, Carrie. And there are too many notaries who are trying to do just that. They're trying to get the money without the work. And that's not going to happen. Not in this service-based business. It's not. All right. So we want to identify what's really blocking us. Okay. You're unmotivated, but what have you been doing? What have you tried to do? You know, we have to be strategic. I'm going to keep saying that. Next point. You want to set a tiny but winnable goal. All right. We want to have goals. All right. And I know for some people, especially if you work a full-time job, I get it. I worked a full-time job while working my notary business for 3 years. Okay. I was at my full-time job for 7 years. The last 3, I had my notary business and I had to juggle both. And you just have to prioritize. Okay. Is your notary business worth it? Because if it's not worth it, then I mean, you're not going to do nothing for it. But if your notary business is worth it, then you're going to prioritize it and you're going to set goals for yourself, because having a goal helps you keep the momentum. Okay. Because once you get started, you want to keep the momentum. You don't want to lose it. You want to keep it going. All right. Making goals for yourself Just small goals will help you. Make one goal a week. You could do one goal a month and break it up into 4 parts. You need to be working towards something. All right. And you need to be working towards something that you can track. Because if you can't track the progress, then it's going to feel like you're not working towards nothing. Does that make sense, guys? Stephanie says it is important to set weekly goals, start off small, and grow from there. Bingo. Bingo. Okay. So I want you guys to ask yourself, what's one small goal that you can commit to this week? All right. And actually, at the end of our live, I'm going to have everyone set a goal. And I'm going to do it in a fun way. I created this word search. And the first word that you find, I'm going to tell you what your goal is for the week. So it's going to be pretty cool. But that one small goal that you can commit to this week could be updating your Google page, or maybe you don't have one yet. Create a Google page. Okay. Find a networking event. Okay. When I was part-time in my notary business, I tried to commit to 2 networking events a month. 2 a month. That's all you needed to do. And I was able to build up my clientele so quick, going to 2 networking events a month. Okay. Maybe it can be posting. Maybe you don't post enough. Do people even know that you're a notary? Maybe you're not posting at all. You need to create some type of schedule for yourself. Now, you don't have to go gung-ho like me. I post every day, but I had to work up to that. I used to not post every day. I used to post a couple times a week. And then I went from there to posting only during the week. Then I went from that to posting every day. So I worked my way up to it, but you don't have to do that at all. But you do need to post. You do need to share your business if you want it to be in front of people. Okay. And what's the best way to do it? Online, of course. We're in an online world. People don't leave their house without this piece right here. Nobody leaves their house. When I used to work outside of the home, if I left this, I would be late to work coming back home to get this phone. Has anybody else ever did that? I'm gonna have to be late because I got to go back and get my phone. Can't leave the house without it. You should be posting about your business. Okay. And then following up with the client. A lot of people will go to networking events and they won't follow up with the people. I'm guilty of that as well. I don't always follow up. Every once in a while I'll do that. I will though. Like if I hit it off good with somebody or a couple of people, we will set up a different time to meet right then and there before I leave. So it's like following up with them is like I got to, because we already decided that we was going to do this, right? But you go to the networking event to make the initial connection. The follow-up is what gets you in the door. You have to follow up with them because at the networking events, it gets really loud. You guys can't hear each other. Hold on. It's like that burp was trying to come out while I was talking. You can't hear each other that well. And so when you guys get a chance outside of the networking event to meet one-on-one, you get the opportunity to talk in a regular way. You get a chance to fill each other out. You get a chance to learn more about each other. And then you get a chance to see how can we help each other? Okay, after I learn about you, your likes, your dislikes, your personal hobbies, because that is something that you do share with a person, what your business does, how you like to work. Now, how can we help each other? You know what I mean? Okay. So following up with the client after you network with them is super, super important, guys. Oh, next point. Say hello, and then you're getting down. Say hello. Okay. Okay. So my next topic, this is going to be a good one. Comparison is a motivation killer. Okay. You see all these other notaries doing good, and you're wondering why you're not doing as good as they are. Okay. You're comparing yourself to them. You don't know what they're doing or what they got going on. You don't even know how long they've been in the game, what connections they have. All you know is you see them doing better than you are, and now you're unmotivated. Stop doing that. Okay. Success is different for everyone. Everyone goes about being successful in a different way. No one person's way is good for everyone. You have to figure out what works for you. Once you figure out what works for you, you will be successful in doing that. I've shared with you guys, I had to do things in tiers. Okay. I worked a full time job, so I couldn't go all in on my business. I could not. But that didn't mean that I couldn't do anything. I just had to prioritize my time, prioritize my task. I did have to make goals. I did have to write down a lot of things that I knew I wasn't going to remember later on because that happens. You know, I am a wife, I am a mom, I have other things that I have to remember and do. And my business sometimes has to take a back burner on that. But because of that, I needed to make sure I write things down so that when I'm done being, a wife or being a mom for the day, I can be to myself, even if it's for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, late at night or super early in the morning, and just do some things for my business. Was I tired? Absolutely. But my business meant so much to me that I was willing, I was willing to do it. Exactly, Carrie. You can only run your own race. You can only do what you can do when you can do it. You can't do what everybody else is doing. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to be successful. Just means that you're going to be successful on your own terms. Okay, so don't compare yourself to other notaries. It's okay to want what they're doing because that motivated me. Oh, you see where they're at? That's going to be me one day. I want to do that too. But I got to do it in my own way. I can't do it the way they did it. Because you got what I tell you, the majority of the notaries are old, retired. They'll have kids at the house no more. Their kids grown, they empty nesters. They got time. They got time to put forth um, to their business. So when you're young, I still consider myself young. I'm in my 40s. I'm young. I still have kids at home, and I don't have as much time as I would like to have to put towards my business when I was working full time. Now I do have more time because I'm not working full time anymore. And I have my husband to thank for that, being supportive of me while I quit my full time job and started my business full time. And I'm not going to lie and tell y'all that when I quit my full time job, that business was booming. No, it wasn't. The first 3 months, I contemplated if I made a mistake. Did I make a mistake? Was I stupid in deciding to quit my full time cushion of a job to start my business full time? Okay. January, February, and some of March was the most difficult time when I first became full time in my business. Once March was gone, business started flowing, becoming steady. I was busy. I was happy. But January, February, March, baby, I was like, oh my God. Now, I will say I was able to pay myself what I was making at my W-2 job, but that was it. January, February, March. So I quit my full-time job, and I was still making what I was making on my full-time job, working full-time in my business. It wasn't until April came that I was able to double that pay and have been doing that ever since. So don't listen to those people who are telling you that you're going to quit your full-time job and then the first day that you are full-time in your business, you're going to kill it. No, you're not. You're not going to. And for the people who are older, who are retired, who are empty nesters, if you see them doing it, you know why. They got way more time than we do, baby. Okay. Us young people who still have young children at home, we have to take time or borrow it here and there. We don't just have time to do stuff. Okay. So we have to prioritize and keep writing stuff down in notebooks. Okay. You can be motivated. You just have to know how to go about it because, like I said, just doing stuff to be doing it, that's not how you're going to be motivated. If anything, you're going to burn yourself out because you're doing something for nothing. You're just doing stuff just to be doing it. You're trying to do everything that you see everybody else doing instead of focusing. You have to be laser focused. Okay. When you're doing your business, you need to be focusing on one thing at a time, just like Stephanie said. It's okay to take this step by step. It's okay not to hit the ground running because when you build up the momentum and you don't just take off, you appreciate it so much more. I appreciate all of the time I've put forward in my business. Okay. I appreciate all the time that I felt like I didn't make the right choice. I appreciate the times where I was just not getting any business. I appreciate all of those times because what it did was help me to become motivated, help me to figure out what could I be doing to change this. And most importantly, I know when I'm slow, I'm not slow because I'm not getting business. I'm slow because my clients are getting together the business. Because, and Stephanie can tell you, Thursday and Friday, I was swamped. Okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, crickets. I had an appointment here and there. And I already knew. My clients, they're just putting together all the stuff because I went to sleep. I woke up. I got appointments waiting in my inbox. And that's just how it works. So don't get scared when it gets quiet. If anything, you need to be preparing. Okay, it's quiet because you're about to get hit with all the business. So prepare yourself. Make sure you're ready to accommodate it because you don't want to have it come and then you ain't ready for it, and then now they got to find somebody else. Okay. And most importantly, sometimes you need to completely unplug and rest. I just learned that this year. When I have downtime, I need to appreciate it because I get a lot of days where I am extremely busy and I am very grateful for it. I'm not complaining at all. But when I have downtime, it used to make me so nervous. But that's just saying you need a break. You need to take a break. I remember I had one whole day where I had no appointments. I got calls and everybody was calling and asking, can they come the next day and the next week? And I'm looking like I'm not doing nothing today. Y'all don't want to do this today? No, because I don't have my documents yet and I'm still waiting for this and this person not going to be available. I'm like, okay. So I had a whole day where I was making appointments for every day other than that day. I had no appointments, but I was getting the calls. I was getting the appointments for every day but that day. So it's called taking a business Sabbath. Ain't that right, Stephanie? Sometimes you need a break. It's okay. It's okay to have a day where you're not doing no work. Okay? Now, can you guys share in your comments what's your favorite way to reset? When you're feeling burnt out or uninspired, how do you reset? Stephanie says, when I have downtime, I work on other things such as updating my site, creating email campaigns, marketing strategies, and so on. And she's doing that with purpose, right, Stephanie? And Stephanie says, yes, ma'am, I have taken business Sabbaths. Yes, you have to. You absolutely have to, guys. Now, here's another one that people really don't think about. Your environment affects your energy. Okay, so what environment are you allowing yourself to be a part of? Okay, because being in a poor environment is going to have you be unmotivated as well. Okay, because being in a poor environment, it drains you to the point where you don't want to do nothing. You're unmotivated, not just about business, but about life. And that can in itself can be a bad mix right there. Carrie says that she organizes, and that's good too, Carrie, because when I tell you there have been days where, I have to take time to make sure that things are properly in place because I don't like chaos. I don't like to be all over the place. I like to have some structure. For example, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I keep telling you guys that I was not busy, right? I took the time to organize my email inbox because what happens is when I do get busy, I have so many emails. And for my customers, when they email me after I get done with, performing the job, I need to email them back. And sometimes those emails get lost and I'm trying to find them. I'm typing in the search, trying to remember. And so what I had to do was I had to make folders for my inbox and I had to create filters for each folder so that depending on who's sending what, that email will go right to its dedicated folder. So now I won't lose emails. And I know to you guys, you're like, okay, well, whatever, right? No, that's like a big thing for me because if I'm, God forbid I send the wrong information to the wrong person, I need to keep up and organize these emails. So that was a big thing for me, Carrie. So yes, I agree with the organize. And Stephanie says, yes, she is doing all of that with purpose. When she has the downtime or when she unplugs, because that's another thing. Oh, well, when do I get downtime? You need to make it sometimes. Sometimes you just need to unplug, plan a day. One thing about being a business owner is you can say when you want to work and when you don't want to work. You can purposely unplug or not purposely, voluntarily unplug to get some things done that you need to get done. All right. Now, this is the fun part. So, I want everybody in the comments to do a one word check in. Okay. I want you to drop one word in the chat that describes how you're feeling about your notary business right now. And I'll go first. Oops, I spelled that wrong. One word that tells me how you're feeling about your notary business right now. All right. Stephanie said that she's feeling excited. Carrie says she's feeling nervous. Okay. My word is intrigued. I'm feeling intrigued about my business. Okay. All right. So we all shared how we're feeling right now. Now I want to share with you guys an image. And I want you to drop in the chat the first word that you find. And when you find that word, I'm going to share with you what your goal is going to be for the week. All right. And I'm going to follow up with you guys on this goal next Sunday. So let me share my screen. Let's see. This one. All right. Let's open it up some. All right. So this is your business word search. I want you to scan it. The first word that you find, I want you to drop it in the chat. And then I'm going to share with you what your goal will be for the week. All right. Carrie says that hers is price. So let me share with you what your goal for the week is going to be. It didn't give me one for... Are you serious? I don't have one for price. Okay. I don't see one on here for price, Carrie. So I'm going to have to ask you to pick another one. For Stephanie, though, her word was follow, which is probably follow up, is what I'm assuming, if you found follow. So, Stephanie, this is your goal. Go ahead and take a picture of it. That is Stephanie's goal for the week. And then let me see. I'm going to... Let's see. Term. Let's see if it can give me a goal for the term price. Okay, this is a good one. So, Carrie, because you found the word price. Okay, Stephanie got it. Oh, Carrie found work. Well, Carrie, I found one for your price. This will be your goal for price. It's like a twofer. Let me see. Did it have one for work? But that's just not helpful. You found two that I don't have a goal for. But this is your one for price, for finding price. Let me know when you got this one, and I'll share the other part of this part here. So you're going to review and adjust your service pricing to reflect your current value, time, expertise, and market demand. This week, you're going to compare your pricing with industry standards, factor in expenses like travel or platform fees, and update your price sheet or website accordingly. So that will be your goal for the week, Carrie. Did you get that? Or did you want to try one for work, for the word work? Okay, Carrie says she got it. All right, cool. Anybody else find a word on here that they want to share in the comments? Anyone else? You're going to look at the word search, and the first word that you find, you're going to drop it in the chat so that I can give you your goal for the week. And don't be scared, guys. This is what we need to do so that we can stay motivated in our business and get some things done. Okay? Because, like I said, we can't just be working our business all the time, just working and working and working it. We got to have something we're working towards. Okay? That's the only way that you're really going to get that momentum that you're, yearning for in your business. And it will help you to come up with different ideas. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I took out the time to do some other things. But what I could have did was I could have emailed all my clients to let them know that I had some openings, and they would have filled the spaces. They would have, because they've done it before. But because I was doing some other things that needed to be done, I didn't do it. But those were two ideas that I would not have had if I didn't have goals, okay, that I set for myself. Anybody else want to share a term that they found in the word search? You guys can't be scared about these goals, okay? I don't want you to be like that one notary who's just bouncing around to every different mentor because they're not hearing that this is how you get rich quick speech, because that's not going to happen. I'm not going to give it, because that has not been my experience. And I can only share with you guys what I have experienced. And getting rich quick was not one of them. I'm still not rich. I do okay, but I'm not rich yet. So you will be getting that speech from me. So that's it. I just got two people who found a word and they have a goal. Okay. Well, I got my two people, and I will be following up with you guys on next Sunday about your goals to see how it went. Okay. Did anybody have any questions for me tonight before I sign off? Exactly, Carrie. What is considered rich? I feel like there are so many things that make you rich, and money is not the only one, for sure. I know that I am rich in love, rich in family. And, as far as money goes, I have enough of it, honestly. I could always do with more because I do have some things that I am trying to do in the very near future. And it's coming. It's coming because I'm working towards it. Okay. Before you guys go, I did want to share with you, if you have not already seen it, that I have revamped and redid the Notary Education Group Notary Directory. And this one is with purpose, obviously, because it was the same directory, Notary Networks, but I feel like I didn't put it together the right way. Okay, so we have the Notary Networks directory, okay, and it is free to list yourself, but you do have to be verified. Okay, so you are not going to be added to the list without verifying your credentials. Okay, and when you verify your credentials, you will see that you have a verified listing. So this helps customers and clients when they are looking for a notary nearby for their customers. They know that if they work with somebody who's verified, they will probably get better results as opposed to working with somebody who's not verified. Okay. And this is a requirement. Once you list yourself, you will get an email that will ask you to share your credentials so that I can confirm and mark your profile verified. So when you create your profile, it's going to automatically be not verified. until you provide me with the credentials that is in the email. Okay, I'm going to verify that your commission is active. I'm going to verify that you have had an annual background screening that is up to date. Okay, and if you are a remote online notary, I am going to verify that credential as well because it's public record. All you got to do is look on the state website for that. Okay, so if you want to get listed, go on there and list yourself. The reason why I'm really excited about this revamp is because we have a blog that is on the Notary Education Group website. And our blog has been getting picked up by a title blog. She's a title blogger. Her blog is for the real estate and title and law industry. So what does that mean for you? That means that the more people that visit my website or, the Notary Education Group to read our blogs, the more traffic we're going to get. Once they get to our website and they start looking at blogs, they're going to automatically start looking at other things on the website. And the directory is probably going to be one of them. So if you want to be seen by people who are working in the title industry, working in real estate, working in law, working with notaries like you, you're going to want to put yourself on this directory. Again, it's free, but this time I know that I don't have to pay for ads to get you guys seen. All I have to do is continue to produce good blogs that this title blogger is interested in, and she's going to keep sending people to the website so that you guys can be seen and found. All right. So super excited about it. Like I said, you are free to get listed. Just make sure that you do provide me with the information that you see in the email so that I can mark your listing verified. And I do need all profiles to be complete. Okay. Incomplete profiles are not going to be marked verified either. Okay. You want to get business, you need to make sure that your profile is complete. Okay. So that's all I have. If you guys are interested, I'll give you the website link here so you can list yourself on the Notary networks via the Notary Education Group. Anybody have questions about that? None? All right. Well, I'm going to go. You guys have a wonderful night. And I'm going to be checking in with you on Sunday. Now, if you see this video after the fact and you want to work on some of the goals, okay, here is the goals for the words that you may find. Let me move this out the way. Okay, if you find any of those words that are in bold, you're going to choose the goal that follows. Okay. I'll leave this up here so you guys can see that. You'll be able to pause this video and take a look. And then you all saw the word search. You should be able to go back and pause and find your word. All right. Everybody have a wonderful night and thank you for joining me.